Ghosts from Britain, living with humans. What shenanigans will happen next? I miss Katie with
Ghosts! What's up, everyone? Adam from FWCI. This is Ghosts, the interviews with the cast about the final series. There's a bunch of these, and I don't have time to react to every single one of them. Unfortunately, the schedule is really starting to move forward at the moment, but I wanted to do this one. A lot of people have requested it, and I want to make sure that I give it to you. And if you're on Patreon, you can watch the full-length version. It's at patreon.com/FWCI, and make sure you subscribe here on YouTube, because as we finish up with Ghosts, we move on to Derry Girls. And another show that keeps getting brought up is Gavin and Stacey. And somebody mentioned that Matthew Bainton is in that show. He has like a small part, I think. So I don't know what Gavin and Stacey is, but that title keeps appearing in the comments. So if you want Gavin and Stacey, let me know. I'm not sure who we've got here. I don't know if we've got Katie Wicks, unfortunately, but I see Kyle. I'm currently in the middle of his series of Taskmaster, and I see the rest of the idiots as well, and Lolly Adefope, Charlotte Ritchie. I just love the wholesomeness of this cast and the way they put this show together, and just they picked the right people to bring into this show. Lolly, Katie Wicks, and especially Kyle and Charlotte Ritchie. They're just perfect for it. This show is very special. So let's see what the cast has to say. This is the BFI Q&A from the final series of Ghosts.
Either that you're particularly pleased that landed really well, or anything you're surprised didn't, or anything you were surprised that did land so well.
I was delighted that people bought the Mike can now see the ghost.
Yeah, I bought into that.
The first episode was very much around April Fool's Day, and is that something? I mean, are there any particular pranksters on the set? Is April Fool's something that you?
That is probably my favorite episode of the entire show, the April Fool's episode. I loved that so much. Charlotte Ritchie especially made that episode very special.
About 3 or 4 years ago, Kyle put a thing on Facebook saying he was becoming a carpenter. Well, Mel Gibson we can ask. And
well, actually, he probably would have rushed it. He would have dashed it.
He just called up uninvited, and we had to say no, we're busy.
And we were wondering whether that could be because there was a very special birthday today.
Oh, Martha's birthday?
We don't normally do this at the BFI.
Who?
But I think that we should sing happy birthday to Martha.
Oh, she's going to love that.
Really slowly.
She is such an attention seeker. Yeah. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, God, is there anything worse than singing happy birthday in any circumstance?
Happy birthday to you.
Mother's like, yep, wrap it up.
My birthday on Thursday. Happy birthday.
Oh, Lolly. Well done.
You weren't cheating with.
I know it was the 6 of you. I know it was your decision to do that, and that kind of ending things in the high. But that must have been a very, very tough decision to make.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I was not aware that it was their choice to end the show at that time. I didn't know what the circumstances were. COVID was happening. Everything was all over the place. So interesting that they decided, yep, we need to do, 3 seasons? No, 5 seasons? I love it. I love that.
As I understand it, the last day of filming was also unusually the last scene of the whole show.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Assholes.
There were tears. There were lots of tears.
Yeah.
I mean, who do you think, if you had to guess, or
He's talking about the scene where they're aged up, right?
Yeah.
Did that not affect your?
It did.
Can I just say, Charlotte Ritchie is struggling with the tears right now, and I totally get it, because that's got to be her biggest thing, starring role in a successful sitcom, and I'm sure that she only has happy memories when she thinks about this, but she is struggling right there.
Did. They put me on camera and they were like, "She's got to go. She's got to go back. She's got to go back to the truck."
You
Get her
cried
back.
yourself young.
I did cry myself young. Yeah, they had to take me back to redo my eyes because they were just
Okay, so not that scene. They're talking about the last scene at the house. Right.
Toilets are so nice now that we've actually sort of used them in the show, right?
Yeah.
We've used them as, as like the club toilets
yeah.
at the
Can't believe we're talking about the toilets.
To be
Distracting us from the
they
emotion
are-
of the
I
occasion.
believe they're award-winning toilets.
Are they?
Yeah, I think they won a
Won a
design
BAFTA.
award. Not for functionality. They're standard toilets. But the room, yeah.
Wow.
I think the thing that just sorry
It's just going to be about the toilets.
yeah. Yeah, I did start the countdown fairly early. Like, I don't know if that's some sort of coping mechanism, but I did quite a lot of like lingering stops at the tea table, just looking at the urn, thinking I won't be with this urn for much longer. And then, of course, more sentimental things like the people I was working with.
I remember there was one day where we just all went in one by one and took a last look at the toilets.
But it's it's a good thing. It's good practice to think, oh, this isn't always here forever. Nothing.
What's interesting, this conversation still sounds like it's a conversation about grieving, which is ironically what a lot of the show about ghosts was already about. I love it.
It up, and it's not a sudden sort of shock. It's not in that way the same kind of.
Martha, I saw that tear.
What is it either you're most proud of, or what do you think you're most going to miss when you look back on it?
It's a scene that we shot, but you haven't seen.
And what happens in the scene, Ben?
Yeah, tell us, Ben.
All I can say is I'm sorry.
What?
Over to you, Si.
loves it.
Oh, so wait, is this airing before the show finally ended? I'm a bit confused with the timeline here now. He said you'll see it in a couple of weeks. Is he talking about the scene of the captain's death? I don't know.
I missed the toilet so good! Can't take it!
Can we turn his microphone down, for fuck's sake? Who is running this show?
When do you get to go do a job and you laugh most of the day? You know, it's great. So be that.
There will be laughs in your future, Simon, I'm sure.
Well, I've got two. My second is being in the car with Charlotte.
Oh.
It is my favourite. An in-joke that is like not really funny, but we Blaupunkt.
Blaupunkt.
Yeah. And we just
Okay.
Give us a go as to what it means.
The sound system's just called Blaupunkt. we spend a lot of time saying what you see, and we just say
Yeah.
Blaupunkt.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're not supposed to know, okay?
All making each other laugh. So those big group scenes. There's one in particular in this series which was just so joyful to
My
do.
favourite day. I'm sorry.
Yeah, probably my favourite day of all the series.
Tell me what the scene is. I need to
And
know.
rehearsing for that as well
Yeah.
was so fun. Yeah.
Was it Julian singing, I'll make love to you if you want me to? Because that scene was fucking great.
Yeah, I'll miss Lady Button. I of all the characters I've ever played, I'm gonna get a bit emotional, I think. She's been my favourite. Like, I love her so much. It's such an experience to kind of get.
That makes me incredibly happy to hear her say that, because Lady Button just seems like such a holistically hilarious character to not just watch but also play. I pick up on so many of the little things that she does as Lady Button, and I love that character.
Okay, no more.
On your birthday as well.
All right, Charlotte, how you going? You gonna get through this?
Later. But I think genuinely, because also I am a fan of the show as a viewer, like as sort of, that's not meant to be self-indulgent. I just love watching it. And I don't mean me, but there's enough people. I really genuinely don't, but there's enough of it. Sounds, but I sometimes get this feeling like I've won this little ticket to be front row with each of these people.
Yeah, I understand that.
I was going to say Green Room as well. popping into the green room, arguing about who.
Cake or cheese.
That was my one.
We were just an either-or game
Either-or.
that
Sausage
went
or
on for
bacon.
about 6 weeks.
Simon couldn't get the hang on.
Sometimes you like, crisps and
Crisps or cheese? I
cheese.
think maybe
Yeah.
that's
Quick
what
fire
it
game.
was.
Well, it depends
There
what
we
time
go.
of day it is, and it depends.
You've got to pick one.
So he had to break it down.
Full stops or commas, stuff like that.
Yeah, full stops or commas, yeah.
Birthdays or chicken is really good.
That's a good one. Very good. Simon?
Birthdays.
What was the question?
Oh my God.
Birthdays or chicken?
We haven't actually got that long.
Well, I mean, you could have chicken at a birthday.
The games in the green room, we invented our own parlour games. So there was another game where we sort of made a list of all of the songs that were number one when we were born, and I knew because I was the quizmaster. And when we did the reverse, which was the plaguers watching the pantomime, I mean that was I think I'd call it an electric day. Where
Who knew if you put 9 shots on the stage?
Yeah, I mean none of that dialogue was in the script.
No.
Really, it was just the plaguers. It was just action sort of in the script. So
Yeah.
we had such a great morning, and it worked so well in the episode. And I'll never
Is it
forget
right that pantomime episode was something you'd been planning for years? It wasn't
Yeah.
something-
So we kind of felt like we sort of had to earn the right to indulge ourselves, I think, to that extent. So
Yeah, you know what? I respect that.
one of the later
Future. I feel that's a
No,
huge victory.
no,
Stomach got
yeah.
that. And Larry, what about you?
Oh, nothing for me.
Ah,
No,
Lawrence.
it's just, I don't know, they're nice people.
Oh, he's so good.
They're a lot. En masse, they're a lot.
Yeah, he's so funny. Basically, every single person had something genuinely sincere and sweet to say, and from a comedy standpoint, it was the perfect time to throw out the complete opposite of that. And he knows that. That's why he's so good.
People came back year after year. We were always so lucky with the crew that we got, and it was like just we got to hang out with our mates. It's just really lovely.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's kind of beautiful. You're not fake. You're not crying. I see it. That's fake tears. I totally agree with that. I would always love to get into work like really, really early just to get set up at my desk and have something to eat and, just make sure everything was always good. And there is something nice about being there early and seeing everybody else kind of show up. I totally hear what he's saying. All right, I don't know what's going to make the YouTube edit and what isn't. I found that just hard to hear some of the things. It got better as it went along, but the audio on that whole segment was pretty bloody bad. I've got everything turned up really high. All right, so it looks like we got some questions here for the Ghost. Which song do you think represents each of your characters? Oh my God. I mean, the captain, it would have to be like a military song. Like, insert military march here. Oh, that's hard. That's really hard. Interested to hear what they have to say about this. This is fucking hard, though.
Yeah, Me and My Arrow by Harry Nilsson, Kitty Cat, Beyonce.
Yeah.
Me and My Arrow.
Yeah.
Walk the Dinosaur, I think.
Sure.
What, the dinosaur? Oh my God.
We had Wolf Alice come and visit, didn't we?
Wolf Alice did come and visit. Well,
We felt so cool, didn't we? For like,
We were all dressed as plaguers.
I felt.
Would you ever work with the Muppets? Oh, fuck yeah. Oh my God, yeah. These guys, this would be perfect.
You kind of did with Yondland, didn't you?
Oh yeah, of course. Doy, that's probably what I'm thinking.
And that was Muppet. I mean, there were Muppet people involved.
Oh yeah,
in
yeah,
Yondland,
they
weren't
were.
there?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Fozzie.
I mean, would be.
Oh, I'm
I once met Neil Kinnock. He was a Muppet.
Well done. Which of your characters' traits will you miss the most?
Like Lady But her walk, I really
the
enjoyed
walk.
doing. And when Lady
Oh
But
my
had to
God, the
run.
walk.
By series
it's one of my
5, she
favourite
had like 2 game hits.
I know.
the captain's bounce. It just happens. I don't know why it happens. He just
Yeah,
bounces.
no shit.
Must be.
I'll miss the little bit of Robin's costume that he always twizzles.
Oh,
There's a
yeah.
little bit of, and it is the softest bit as well. It's really soft.
I got onto that.
Yeah, and then we had to.
I never noticed Robin used to fiddle with his fur. Did you take anything from the set on your last day? Yeah, I would like to know this.
Yes, all of it. Yeah.
jumpers, boots, trousers. Have you seen them? They're the best jumpers ever. And they're mine.
Yeah.
I got the glasses. I got Pat's glasses. Yeah.
I've got mixed teeth, and I've also.
It won't fit anyone else, so make for
Mick was great. He was probably the standout of all the plague ghosts.
I've also got the portrait that Alison did of Thomas, but
yes,
but the shit.
I've got the two most narcissistic things I could find: my own head and a portrait of me.
Very good.
I took my portrait, but the good one. Sorry, and I took the Button House sign from the front. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Great.
Did you?
Didn't know that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Fine.
First dibs.
You can take stuff off the house.
Yeah, I took the toilet.
I've got the monocle, and I've got
Nice.
the Mike Cooper Buttonhouse hotel.
Oh no.
Very, very classy.
Obviously, I've got the captain's stick, and I'm going to put it in a little box and get a little box made with a perspex front.
I'll make that.
Kyle's going to make that.
Yeah.
Kyle, he's a carpenter, isn't he?
I've got
Very
Kissy's little feather that waves around.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. You know, these characters were also visual with their like costumes and everything like that. Everybody would be able to take something that isn't just a part of the costume, but like really embodies the entire character. That's beautiful. What's Julian going to take though? What's Simon going to take?
How many underpants does Julian get through the series?
Just one.
I'm glad I asked.
How many more do you need? Well, I'm turning into Julian. I'm glad it's over. I'm glad it's done and saying go back to being me.
Oh, what did you really steal though? Just Julian's underpants? Which character's death story is your favourite? Oh, so they're probably going to have to tiptoe around the captain's death story in this. I'm not sure if the audience has seen that or not. Which is my favourite? The captain's is brilliantly tragic. It's just there's so many layers of emotion in that moment. Thomas's didn't hit me quite as hard as it probably should have. The betrayal with his cousin and, you know, dying under those circumstances. Kitty's was a bit more of a, like, it wasn't sad, it was more of a lesson kind of thing. Mary's was pretty sad. I think Robin's got me too much, but the little build-up to it really added a bit of tension to it. Julian's, I mean, what do we have to say? Pat's, yeah, you know, I reckon... and Lady Button obviously got murdered by her husband. Humphrey's death as well was pretty... we learned a lot about that. That was pretty tragic too. I'm going to say the captain's death. I think that was just so well written, and he acted the character so well for such a long time. They waited for the perfect time to tell that story, and it was great.
Yeah, Humphreys. Yeah, I like Humphreys. That was epic.
You can't say Julian's, can you? You just can't say it.
Lady Button because of the when Martha died. Because of the story of like the manwich and all that. So much fun. There's so much fun around it.
Could just have an idea, find it funny, write it in the character's voice, and not spend days of meetings wondering how it fit into a plot.
Yeah, I need to get this book and have a look at it.
To very niche
The audiobook apparently sounds pretty good too.
from the show.
So many Easter eggs.
Very out in there.
And I'm personally most pleased that on the beginning of Series 2, I did the nerdiest thing I've ever done, which is such a high bar, which was a spreadsheet showing how all of the ghosts and where they all fit in and when they died relative to each other and who was on the throne. And I was like, God, no other fool's going to look at this. Well, now you all have to.
That was a lot of fun. That was a very, very sweet little recap of the final series. I love seeing them out of character. Lawrence Rickard has such amazing comedic timing, even in this kind of chaotic environment. He just nails it every single time. I still feel like Martha Howe Douglas as Lady Button is my favorite character from the show. The captain's got to be up there as well, but Robin, how do you pick? How do you pick? Like, Robin is the emotional core of the show. Lady Button is like the head that's spinning around. Julian is the taint. All the characters have their part in the show. It's a shame we couldn't get Katie Wicks in there for that. And yeah, Mary's death scene was pretty goddamn tragic. That one really fucked me off. if I'm being honest, that really pissed me off that she got torched just because she was a simple potato farmer with a dead husband, and these assholes couldn't get their crops to work. I'm getting all upset about it. And I love that Lady Button, or Martha Howell Douglas, took the Button House sign and got to take that home. Charlotte Ritchie was a great part of this show as well. So was Kyle. Like I say, there's no weak link in this entire show. Writing, the editing, maybe some of the CGI is a little bit rough. It's probably the only thing, but it does not matter because they're not telling a story that needs CGI. They're telling a story that's about these amazing characters and all these different time frames. It's such a perfect format. Talking about that, I don't know if I should watch the US Ghosts version. Some people said it's very different. I like the format of the show in terms of different characters from throughout history and how you can meld those characters together. But obviously every writing team is going to be different, and they're not always going to have the kind of heartwarming feel and the polish that the Ghosts UK have. But thanks for checking this video out, everybody. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and go to patreon.com/FWCI if you want to support the channel further. And as always, everyone, be well, stay safe, look after your friends, ta-ta, and farewell.
I saw Kitty and Mary in the garden, and Fanny should be here, beg my pardon. Lady Button should be here in amazement. Shout out to the plague in the basement.